All right, everybody. Welcome. This is episode 5 of Tequila and Transactions. This is your host, Ricky J. Alvarez, the Boulevard Real Estate. I'm with the lovely Daniela Lopez.
Hi.
The marketing babe. Let me go ahead and turn this off. I'm monitoring your guys' questions on Facebook. So if you guys want to drop any questions in, we're going to be dropping some nuggets. We're going to be talking real estate. We're going to be talking social media, marketing, everything in between. And best of all, guys, talking about little tequila. We're talking about tequila today too. So you guys already know we're going to be doing a little drinking, talk about tequila as well. And then we're going to be also talking about just giving you guys some information about the market, about how to stand out, social media marketing, all that good stuff. Daniela's going to be dropping some dimes. So make sure you got your notepad, your phone out, take some notes. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and launch our promo video, our little introduction video, and then we'll get right into it, you guys. So let me stop sharing this. See our beautiful faces. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to share our video so we can go ahead and jump right into this. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little introduction. We're going to be talking real estate. We're going to be talking tequila and marketing. First and foremost, I'm going to introduce my guest, my good friend. She kills it on social media. You'll probably seen some of her content. So I'm going to introduce her, Daniela Lopez. Take it away from here. Give us a little spiel, who you are, what you do, and let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah. Okay, so my name is Daniela, and I've been in marketing for like 6 years now. I absolutely love it. I love it because I'm frank. I am an attention seeker. I love going where the attention of the consumer is, which makes me excellent at my job, because while real estate agents are busy trying to help their clients find the perfect home, many real estate agents don't have the time to create content so new clients can find them. And that's where I come in. So by working with real estate agents, we create content that helps convert their followers into potential clients, into leads. And I love helping them that way. When I'm not on social media doing marketing stuff, I like to read. I drink red wine, and of course I drink tequila.
Perfect fit.
It's the perfect fit. If I'm not reading books that Gary Vee has written, I'm probably trying to find a video or some marketing thing to watch on YouTube. And that's how I have fun. Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. I mean, you definitely stand out. You guys, all your clients, definitely have some great material. And definitely, you notice when it's yours because it's very clean. I think,
Thank you.
I think the nicest thing about it is nothing's really cookie cutter. Well, that's one thing with social media. You can't be cookie cutter. You got to be yourself.
Yeah.
And we'll touch on that in a little bit, but let you guys know what we just drank and what we're probably going to be sipping on. So, earlier we finished this one off. You guys remember this bottle is my favorite. This one is a cristalino tequila. I was looking for the word. I was trying to remember what the word is. So the proper word is cristalino, which means distilled clear. So this is añejo, same as this. So see the difference in the color here? This one's clear. So you can see the little tiny bit there at the bottom. But what they do is they let it age in barrels just like they would any other tequila, right? And when they're done with it, what they're going to do is distill it once more to get all that color out. And it just makes it for a little bit more of an easier sipping tequila. Your añejos are always going to be very smooth and great for sipping, but they just go a little extra mile with this one just to get that nice, clean cut flavor. A little bit sweeter at times. A few others that you'll see is 1800 does a cristalino as well. That one just got brought into the States. Another good one. Is you'll see Don Julio makes one called Don Julio 70. That's their distilled, their clear cristalino tequila as well, their añejo. And then there's another one that's my favorite. I talked a little bit about it is Maestro Dobel. And that's the Maestro Dobel is notorious because they're the ones who decided to mix different tequilas, create their own concoction. So they take a little bit of extra añejo, and reposado to create a nice balance, distill it, and that's their Maestro Dobel. That's their tequila. So cheers, guys. Danielle already took her shot, but we're probably gonna let her pour up another drink right now. And then what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm just gonna talk a little bit about what's going on in the real estate market. If anybody has any questions, see if a few of you guys are on here. Let us know if you guys have any questions about anything at all. Anything regarding the market, social media, we'll do our best to answer it. But more than anything, just happy to be here with Daniela, happy to have a little tequila and hang out, and not be kind of in the same groove all the time and just be grinding. It's good to kind of unwind a little bit and relax. So what we're seeing right now in the market, guys, of course, since we've been telling you guys from the get-go, is extreme competition and it has not slowed down. Actually, I think since the last time we talked, guys, it's gotten a little bit worse. I think right now people are just getting into that frenzy as far as missing out. They have that FOMO.
Right.
So anything that's nice, anything that has a yard, anything that has a pool, anything that has an entertainment area, big spaces, extra bedroom, stuff like that, that really is enticing people. When you can add the luxury of having a nice yard with a nice home, it goes a long way, especially now during during these really terrible times that we're going through with COVID-19, fires and all that good stuff. Quality of life has never ever been any more important. The emphasis on quality of life that's the number one priority right now with folks who are looking to make that move. And what I mean is that it's getting worse is the fact that the FOMO is kicking in. People are like, damn, if I don't get this house, what if I don't find anything else that I like? What if this is the one for me? What if nothing else comes on and I'm stuck? So that's what's happening, guys. Nice things come on. As realtors, we'll go show you as quick as we can. Sometimes offers are already coming in, and I'm starting to see a lot more offers coming in from that I'm hearing from listing agents. Offers are coming in sight unseen. So people are seeing them online, going virtual tours, writing offers already, not even seeing the house. Sometimes they'll show up while they're at the house and already send the offer. So with technology, we have the ability to do that. I can do that, any realtor can do that, have the offer ready to go, send it out for signatures, and just have it ready to execute right then and there. Deadlines, there's no such thing as deadlines, guys. A realtor will tell you the offers are due Tuesday. There'll be offers coming in before Tuesday, believe me, especially if it's a very nice house. Yeah, and it sucks because we're dealing with people, we're dealing with families, we're dealing with young people trying to plant their roots. And it's like, we're dealing with a lot of emotions right now. We're dealing with people's livelihoods. And it sucks because a lot of time, for me as a realtor, I feel like, well, what if my clients could have given a better offer? What if we could have been more competitive? How do they know that we couldn't have given the seller a better offer than the offer they're going to take right now? So sellers are also not waiting. So if you get a motivational offer over, it's going to get presented legally. It has to get presented, and then from there, the seller can pull the trigger if they want. And that's the ugly truth, guys. So if you're buyers out there, hang in tight. Tell your realtor to get out there as quick as possible. Don't be afraid to get aggressive. Don't get too aggressive. Make sure you're protecting yourself. But more than anything, just get out there to look for the neighborhood, look for the house, the feel of it. Everything has to fit. And then get as aggressive as you can. And like I said, there's no such thing as deadlines. So if you like it, tell your realtor to prepare the offer right away. Like, have it ready so you guys can execute it when you're there. Have it prepared, send it out for signatures. All your clients have to do is jump on a DocuSign or something like that. You guys can sign it right then and there. Just make yourself stand out and get in front of the seller as quick as possible. We did talk about love letters. Love letters are very important right now. Seller love letters are going to set you apart. So be personable without being too personable. Don't give out your social security numbers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Be as honest as you can. Talk about the house. Be very honest. Try to butter the seller up a little bit. What I mean by that is compliment them. Tell them how much you love the house, the space, stuff like that. And cross your fingers and say a little prayer, because that's what it's going to take. It's tough.
As you're talking about that, I'm actually going to jot this down because this is great content for me to create for my agents so they can share it with their audience.
See, and now you're getting a little bit out of this too. So that's the real truth, guys. When you're out there, just I just want to say, be patient, but be aggressive at the same time. Be patient with your realtor, especially if you're overworking them and you're making them show you like 10 houses on a Saturday. So be patient with them, but also be very honest with them. If it doesn't work, move on to the next one. If it does work and you guys are head over heels over this particular house, make sure you tell your realtor before you get there. So perhaps maybe, like I said, they can have that ready for you, so you guys can execute that right away. I don't see any questions just yet, but if you guys have any questions, drop them into Facebook Live. We're going to be answering any questions. So now I'm going to ask you a question, Daniela. So what I see a lot, and I'll be completely honest, I'm a huge victim of this, and I was afraid to be myself when I first started out on social media. I was afraid of getting judged. I was afraid of people like looking at me and being like, "Oh, he just wants to party. He's not really a legit realtor. He's out here hanging out with his friends drinking tequila on a Thursday night or whatever." You know what I mean? Like we're doing today, people, I was always afraid of that judgment. And to be honest, I think what really made me stop is like looking at it from my perspective, and the fact that I don't judge my clients. I don't judge my friends, my family. I love them for who they are. If they need some advice, I'll give it to them. Sometimes they may not want to take the advice, but it is what it is. But I mean, for me, I always welcome people of all walks of life. I love working with people. Obviously, that's why I'm in this business. So I think for me, from the get-go, the first couple of years, it was just like, I wanted to create this persona of this go-getter, this professional. Right. And I lost a little bit of who I was. And I didn't really portray, my love for sports, my love for cars, my love for tequila, my love for things in, areas in the Bay that I love to go to, food and everything in between. And more than anything, just the love for my culture. I'm very proud to be Mexican. I'm very proud to have a lot of family in Mexico that I go visit all the time. I just love my culture, and I'm very proud of that. And, hence why my family and I are building our own house in Mexico, and probably going to spend a few months out of the year out there. That's the goal. It's just, something I that's embedded in me, and I definitely want to be able to hopefully one day pass that on to my kids is the pride of my culture. So now more than ever, you guys will see me a little bit more honest and a little bit more outgoing, but before it really wasn't like that. So my question to you, Daniela, is like, do you analyze that with your clients, or like, do you see that and then kind of like tell them? And then, what do you recommend for all those people out there who are starting on video and getting more personable? Do you recommend them going like 100%, like, this is who I am, like in your face, or do you kind of do it in phases like I did?
That's a great question, and it's a loaded question. So I'm gonna break it down. It is extremely important for you to show up to your audience as you are. I actually gave this example earlier today to a client, and she said, I'm scared to show up. I'm scared to even be on social media because I feel like there's so many other people who do what I do. And so I gave her the example of, when you're going to the grocery store and you're picking up bread. You get to the bread aisle, there's hundreds of different brands, right?
Right.
Essentially, they're all the same thing. They're all bread. But some are gluten-free, some are sourdough, some are made of potatoes, some are like multi-grain. So what does that mean for us? That even though we all provide the same service, we all have something different to offer. And there will always be people who will like that difference that we have. So don't be afraid to show up who you are. Now, I have seen clients, and I do it myself too. I like to share when I'm out, like I go out with my girls or with my family and I have a drink and I want to show them what it is. That's okay. You know why? Because there's always going to be a client who likes that authenticity. There will also be a client who will look at my page and be like, okay, she's not the girl for me. And that's okay. Accepting that you are not for everybody. You are not the realtor for everybody. I'm not the social media strategist for everybody. That's okay, because there is someone out there who is a perfect match for your business. So keeping that in mind while you show up authentically. And of course, your content has to reflect who you are. If you're a real estate agent, then you have to educate your audience, right? You never want to come off as too personal, because then they're gonna say, okay, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. You don't want to come off as too professional, because they're gonna say, okay, the what is it when people want to vote for someone, like, oh, I feel like I could have a drink with that guy. I'm gonna vote for this president. So it's the same thing with us, right? We have 100%. To have that mentality that people will want to like maybe go have brunch with us, or maybe like play golf with us, or whoever your target audience is, you want to appeal to them. So all of that to say, be yourself and know that the business that is out there will always be out there for you. be okay with knowing that you cannot service everybody, and you don't want to service everybody. You don't want to we're not meant to be for everybody.
True.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, you got to find your niche. You got to find, what you love to do and work with those type of people. I mean, you're not always going to work with people that you love. That's just the truth. Like, not everybody's the same. Not everybody works the same and responds, to certain things the same. So,
right.
I think finding that balance, like you're saying, and I love that example. I mean, for sure. Like, I mean, shoot, you go down the bread aisle right now, there's a million different kinds of bread.
Yeah,
so it's like, and then real estate is like that too, guys. I mean, anything of that nature, like, whether you're selling cookies or you're selling real estate, it doesn't really matter. Like, you have to find that niche. Like, who are you going to advertise to? And that's why, I think you do such a great job when you help your clients, like, really, market to that particular audience. And I think that's the perfect example. And you're right. Like, I try to please so many people from the get-go. It's like, I'm a professional. I'm your resource. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm also Ricky. I'm also a realtor. Right. So hence Ricky the realtor. But in addition to that, I mean, I like to hang out with friends. I like to go camping. I like to, hang out with buddies at the golf range. And that's what I'm going to be doing later, guys. So catch me out on the golf range. But nothing, I mean, to be honest with you, I think that was the toughest part, is just being honest with myself and being okay with being personable and not being afraid too much of how people would react or respond. Yeah. And I think that's what's really helped me even grow my following. Like, this year, I told myself my goal for 2020 is be more personable and just be a little bit more authentic on my social media. And I grew by like 500 followers this year, which definitely, I think, reflects in the fact that, like, I had a cool base of people who liked what I did. And now, like, I'm appealing to a different crowd of people who just like me as a person and like what I do. So more than anything, just, be honest with yourself, be honest with your audience. Don't try to sugarcoat it or be a cookie cutter. Like, people read bullshit from a mile away, to be honest with you guys. Right. So the way you are online, that's the way you should be in public. Like your online presence, whoever you are online, you should be that person every day. When people meet you, they should be like, that's the same person I've been watching on Instagram for years. Like, Ricky is who he is. And like, when people meet me, they're like, oh dude, you're like the same guy I see on online.
Absolutely.
It's like, because this is who I am.
You don't want to water yourself down. I think that goes for any business, but specifically real estate. Because I like to tell my clients, I'm about to make probably the biggest purchase of my life. Right. And I want to trust a professional who understands that, but also who I feel comfortable with. Right. I'm never going to go with a real estate agent just because I think they are the most professional. No, I want them to see me like on a human level. Yeah. And whatever that human level is for me, I want to make sure that my real estate agent, that we see eye to eye. And just real quick, I want to say, if you have your page and, you have like a day, like, that you want to, I don't know, share something and you're like, oh, this might be a little too risky. Instagram has a feature where you can add people as your close friends. Mm-hmm. So, like, let's say you don't want your clients or your potential clients to see, your boys' weekend out in Cabo, but you want your other friends to see, you know what I'm saying? Love that feature. I love it. So then I use it all the time, and I have like 30 people on there as opposed to like the 1,500 that follow me. Right. But those 30 people get to see like whatever it is that I want to share, whether it be crazy, sad, dramatic, whatever, but Instagram has that feature. So if you use Instagram for your marketing and you're scared, like, oh, I don't know if I should post this to my Instagram story, but you want your friends to see it, just add them to your close friends. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I started to really utilize that this year as well. Like, if I'm out and about and I'm like, oh, this is, close friends worthy or not close friends worthy, or like, this is for everybody to see. Sometimes I'm like, screw it, everyone can see this. But, that's up to you. I mean, you have that luxury to do that. And that's, I think, the cool thing about Instagram. It's all owned by the same company, but either way, Instagram has that awesome feature. You guys go ahead and utilize that. Like Danielle was saying, if you guys want to get a little crazy or a little dramatic, you can just slide it through there and then you be okay, because a lot of your friends and family, so who cares if they judge you? You're still going to hang out with them on the weekends anyway. They're still going to love you anyway. So one question we had that came in here is from Eduardo Robles. What's up, Eddie? What's up, Ed? So Ed says, with the exodus to the suburbs and rural areas, are there any deals in the cities? Hell yeah, there are deals in the cities, especially rentals right now.
So if you're looking to rent in the city, now is the best time to do it. I think a crazy stat, like it's down 30% or something ridiculous like that. So,
I read
so see, I have evidence that it's
Yeah,
true.
it's
I'm not lying to you guys.
It's fine.
So it's extremely cheap, not cheap, but cheaper right now to go live in the city. So if you guys are okay with renting and you're like, you know what, I want to go live in the city, or you got your own house, just rent your house, go live in the city, you know? So go make some money on your house. People are looking to live in homes right now. They're not looking to rent apartments.
Right.
People want that yard. People want to be able to have, you know, some areas to entertain and what have you. Like I said, quality of life right now is number one. Like people want to have walking trails, parks, all that stuff. So if you have a nice house and you're like, you know what, I want to go live in the city for a year, do it. Right now is the time to do it. Everybody and their mom is trying to find someone to rent from them because people are leaving the city in busloads. I mean, to be honest with you guys, all those young tech kids and millennials, everyone who was working in all those technology jobs that had those $1 million condos overlooking the water or right next to, what is it now? It's Oracle Park, not SDC Park or anything, AT&T Park. Oracle Park. So if you got all those nice condos right next to the ballpark, right next to the water, all those people have moved out. They're all going to Tahoe. They're all going to Oakley. They're going to Brentwoods. They're going here. They're going there. People are even going out to all those brand new $1 million houses in Manteca and Lathrop because they're getting these huge homes on the water. They got their own dock. They got, you know, go out jet ski when you want, go out and jump on your boat and go fishing when you want. So right now, like I said, quality of life is number one. Cities, congested cities are just not people's priority. They're wanting to leave and, you know, find something with a more running around room. So yes, cities are a great deal right now. Prices have gone down a little bit too as far as acquiring single family homes as well. So you're not going to face the same buyer pool you're going to face in the city that you're going to face in the suburbs. You're going to face 3 to 4 times as much competition out in the suburbs right now because there's so many people. All my colleagues are telling me multiple offers. I've seen multiple offers. Every single listing I've had these last couple months has had a minimum of 10 to 20 offers. So it sucks because I have to say no to 9 or 20 other families, and all those 20 other families still need a house. So, I mean, and every time I'm, you know, looking at an affordable house, whether it's in Pittsburgh or Antioch or anything of that nature, these realtors are telling me they're having like 60 to 70 showings within 2 or 3 days. So like people are going all times of the day to see these homes because they're affordable. They have yards, and you know, people are going to be a little bit more comfortable in their 3-bedroom, 2-bath than they will in their 2-bedroom, 1-bath condo or apartment. So right now, that's just like I said, a huge demand. People are not waiting. People are getting aggressive, and it's, you know, a lot of fear of missing out, and it's also the fear of the second wave of COVID. People feel like it's going to come back, and it's come back harder, and they're like, well, if I get stuck in my house, I want to get stuck. I don't want to get stuck in my current living situation. I want to get stuck in my beautiful house with the pool and my outdoor kitchen where I can go grill up some steaks and jump in the pool and sip on some tequila and Coronas when I want to. So it's like, that's the fear right now, is just being stuck.
They want to make sure that they have a like an oasis, if you will. 100%. I think that maybe now more than ever, people see how valuable having your home be like your refuge, right?
Yes.
Having it be like
it's way more than just shelter now.
Exactly.
Way more than just your shelter.
Yeah.
So I think that within itself, guys, it's like if you're okay, like you're all right with living in the congested city, like if that's your thing. I love it. I mean, I would personally live in the city, but not right now. Like I just don't want. Myself, I'm kind of like my clients. I'd rather have my house with the yard. I'd rather have my house with the pool. Yeah. I'm not necessarily looking to go get a huge, beautiful loft overlooking the water just to wake up and look at the sunset overlooking the water every day. Although it would be kind of nice, but at the same time, I like the outdoors, guys. I can't be cool with just having a balcony to look out from. I have to have some grass. I have a dog that I love. I know you're also a husky owner, so my husky needs running around room. I mean, he's a big drama queen and he needs his space. And I think having him in an apartment would just be a huge mistake. So for his sake, like I need to have a yard, and that's the way a lot of people are looking at it too. And right now the demand for animals is up too. People want pets, they want fur babies, they want a dog, they want a cat, they want to have that affection because
that comfort.
your friends aren't going to come see you anymore as much as they used to.
Right,
You're not going to go out with the
right.
girls or the guys on the weekend as much as you used to. So right now, who's going to show you love? It's going to be my husky Yoda. Yoda's going to give me some love on the weekends. Not so much my boys, although I love you guys, but we can only hang out so often, and we got to always take care of ourselves and just look out for others. But that's just the way it is right now. So I mean, it sucks the way we're in, but it's interesting, just like you said, Danielle, that it's not just it's your refuge. It's not just your shelter. It's not a wall with a roof on it. That's where you go hang out. That's where you go exercise. That's where you teach your kids. That's where you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're barbecuing outside, you're running around with the dog. I mean, it's everything. I mean, it's turned into everything. It's turned into your church. It's turned into your bar. It's turned into your exercise or your gym. It's turned into everything. So now more than ever, a house is just much more valuable in what it provides for you than what it used to be seen as. And it's like now, since gyms are starting to open up, stuff started to open up a little bit, but it's just that fear of what if I can't go? What if I can't go out anymore? So that's the interesting thing. So I don't see any other questions, but one thing I wanted to ask you was how much, what filter wise, what do you tell your clients, don't put any stuff up, especially right now? That's one thing I want to touch on right now with politics.
Mm-hmm.
What are your views on that? Because I myself hedge back. I don't want to be super pro this, pro that, but at the same time, I just like to be kind of neutral and just give my clients information, especially right now with voting. I'm like, go vote, everybody. I voted. I posted my ballot up, not my actual ballot, but my envelope. I said, go vote here. You guys can go vote here. But, especially right now with the elections and everything coming up, do you kind of give your clients a filter? Don't do too much of this, too much of that, or you're just go for it?
I don't, because I'm like a ghostwriter, right? I'm a ghostwriter in the sense that I create the content, I create the caption. So when people read it, they don't know it's me. They think it's the realtor.
Correct.
And so if my opinion, and I'm being as honest as I can, if my opinion is asked, then I will give it. But if my realtor is I'm really passionate about this policy, or I'm really passionate about this proposition, or I'm really passionate about, this politician, it's my job to create that content anyway.
Gotcha.
And I think, again, like I said, if you don't want to speak too much on one topic because you're afraid that you're going to insult another group of people, that has to come from the client.
Mm-hmm.
If I feel like something is off in my moral compass, then I feel grown enough to say, you know what, I don't feel comfortable creating this piece of content for you, but here are some resources for you to do it on your own. But again, there's always going to be a client that is going to applaud you for sharing your opinion, right? Mm-hmm. So I actually have a client who they have family members who are first responders, and it's very important for them to show their support.
Right.
And so absolutely, we created a piece of content, and it did really well for them. But because that's their voice,
exactly.
And then I have other clients who it's really important for them to encourage the communities that they are a part of. And so I create content for that as well. Again, if my opinion is asked, I will absolutely give it. But if the client feels that it's important for them and their brand to create a piece of content, then I'm there to assist until I feel like it goes against my values, then.
Right. Yeah. Well, of course. And then, I mean, everybody should be that way. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't do something just because it's going to pay you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I've learned to be better at saying no, and I'm still kind of bad at it. But there's been times where people ask me to do something, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. And
especially comes down to a lot of what we're dealing right now is with a lot of social injustice, racial injustice, stuff like that. Where somebody will ask me something, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna tell you that, and I'm not gonna do that because that goes against my values, and I'm not gonna help a racist client do anything racist. That's not who I am. That's not what I stand for. Right. And the client was like, okay. And, you know,
Yeah.
I had to be very adamant about that because, you know, it now reflects on me as a person. And it's like, if I would have just shut my mouth and took the paycheck, then, you know, at that point, like, what really am I?
But you know.
Yeah. But,
like you would know if,
no, exactly.
if it
And I
goes
would feel
against
bad.
you. Exactly.
And I would feel bad, and it'd eat me up inside.
Right.
And it like, you know, my conscience would be like, dude, you fucked up. You shouldn't have done that. Like,
Yeah.
and then I would know, but nobody else would know, right?
Right.
But still, it would eat me up inside, and then I'd feel bad because I did that.
Right.
So like, I felt like I had to say something. I said it. The client responded well, so I'm glad that they did. I don't technically work with this client anymore, so if they're seeing this, I still love you guys. It's all love and positivity around here. So don't worry about it. But you know, we spoke about it. We came to terms, and it was good. So, but if it would have been from the flip side, and they would have got upset or like felt like I was not wanting to do what they wanted just because I was their realtor, then I would have parted ways and been like, nah, it's good. Like, we don't even have to work with each other because I don't want, you know, I just don't want people to be like, or that particular client to go tell their circle of friends, oh, Rick will do that for you. Don't worry about it. He'll take care of that. Like, it's like, no, I don't want to be known like that. I'd rather be known as a person who's straightforward and honest, because when I came to this business, Danielle, I told myself I was going to make 1 million friends, and I didn't want to make any enemies. I wanted to learn from everybody, collaborate with everybody, and that's always been my goal. And, you know, I just don't want to be that realtor where people like, oh, that guy, oh, Ricky, yeah, we know who that is. I want people like, oh, he's cool. Like, I see him. He's super friendly. He does good by his clients. And I just always want to have a good reputation. That's how my mama raised me. So. Right.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I cut you off. Were you going to say something?
No.
Okay.
I was just going to say that, really emphasizing, for people to use their voice, right? In this case, to vote. Go out and vote.
Right.
Like that is our right, especially as people of color. People like fought for us to have this right. So go in and do it. And it is like a fine line, because as much as I have an opinion, I have to respect someone else's opinion.
Right.
And when it comes to like the professional setting, if our opinions don't agree, like if we don't see eye to eye on something, you know, I think that's where you make that personal choice. But when it comes to content creation, it's up to the client, and I will give my opinion if asked. But if it's something that completely goes against my moral values, then it's like, I'm sorry, like I can't do that for you.
No, 100%. I agree. Did you have when you started out or right now, do you have any haters where you're like, man, I'm still going to do me, but whatever, like, you know, because I have people where they're like, I'll be honest with you guys know who you are, all my cousins out there, you guys are a bunch of haters. Still to this day, you guys are hating, but you guys still call me for all your real estate questions. So I know you guys love me, but you know, I have a lot of fraternity buddies, a lot of friends and family who are just talking shit, and they still talk shit to this day. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not going anywhere, guys. So either watch my content and shut up and give me a like, or don't watch my content. But I know you guys are watching, and you guys are probably gonna be laughing at me later for saying this, but it's all good. I still love you guys. But do you ever get it? Do you ever get any kind of like,
I did.
What are you doing? Why are you doing this? And like, you know, just a bunch of like negativity.
Yeah.
Kind of like fueled you to do better. And
yeah, I actually read something online a long time ago that said, they'll call you crazy until they call you for help.
Yeah.
And that really resonated with me, because you know, not everyone is going to understand what you're doing, especially when, you know, I take out my phone and I start talking into it, and people are like, oh, like, why do you need to, you know, but I know the intent behind it, right? As a social media strategist, I know that I need to share just enough of my personal life so people know who I am, so we can create this know, like, and trust factor, right? And so you just gotta do like Jay-Z, you just gotta brush it off. It's hard because you want people to support you, but sometimes they don't. And at the end of the day, like, if you're not giving me money to pay my water bill, if you're not giving me money to spend it at Safeway for my groceries, like, I can't spend too much of my time worried about someone's opinion. But does it suck sometimes? Yeah, you want people to support you, especially when both my parents had small businesses, and I saw how they would support other small businesses. So I kind of went with the hope that my people would continuously support me, and a lot have, don't get me wrong. But sometimes the confusion as to like, what are you doing? Maybe you're sharing too much. But you just got to take it with a grain of salt and know that your content is helping somebody else, and keeping that in mind. And it's okay that people don't understand us, because like I said earlier today, like, we're not for everybody.
Yeah. You can't, because you can't please everybody. You're one person.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you got a team of some really diverse individuals that you can help every single, personality out there, then it's going to be tough. Like I said, everyone's different. People work differently. I may not work for somebody who's older or younger than I am, or I may not be a woman's first choice or a man's first choice. But at the end of the day, you just got to be yourself, be authentic, be transparent, honest, and people are not going to see through that. You just got to be yourself. But we had one question come in. Let me take a look at this one, because it's talking about politics. I'll do my best, because this is a very controversial question, brother. I know you wanted an answer to this one. So yeah, Prop 15 is big right now. So that this is kind of along the lines of what you're asking. So it says, following up on the attitudes of politics, there have been a lot of commentaries on President Trump tax returns that came from primarily from his real estate deals. Have you heard of professionals within the real estate community about closing these loopholes or doing away with these write-offs? So it's very controversial, brother. And what I mean by that is because commercial guys don't always see eye to eye probably with residential guys or people who do leasing and stuff like that of that nature. So us in the industry are very different. I come from a commercial background. My family are all commercial or multifamily. So for me, it's like I grew up around multifamily, around apartments, around retail, around all that. So for me, I'm very, I would say I'm a little bit more educated on that side, in that realm, and I'm kind of a little bit more influenced in that regard from property owners. So right now, the big one on the ballot is, of course, Prop 15, where if you own a property that's valued above $3 million, you're going to be taxed. Like, I can't remember the percentage, but there's an extra tax that's going to be allocated for public schools and stuff like that. So it's going to go towards that. Although it's great, I see the benefit, and this is kind of goes along with what Trump did, and he used a lot of write-offs to offset a lot of his deals for whatever depreciation and other losses, and he used that to really manipulate the system per se. But to be honest with you, I think if we continue to be very strict in that regard with new investors and investing in California, I think we're going to chase a lot of people away. I think there's different ways to go about it and not just attack property owners. I think there's definitely ways we can, utilize property or what have you to raise more funds for schools. I think we do need more funds for schooling. But on the flip side, we've raised money for schools in the past. Where the heck is all this money going? So, we definitely have voted in the past for multiple millions and billions of dollars to be allocated to funds for schools. But, our schools aren't, we haven't really seen the fruits of all that money. Like schools are getting better, I'm not going to lie, but at the same time, there's a lot of money always allocated for these schools. To get new technology, to get updated this, updated that. So I think, it goes back to Prop 15. It's like, yes, I understand the value of that, but if we're going after these folks who may be mom and pop, like my parents, who own a property that may be worth more than $3 million, just to attack my parents, and although they already pay a lot in taxes, and now you're asking them to pay more, it's going to, really make, my parents and other, small investors really think about where they want to invest their money. And in California, it's not making it easier for investors here. So I think that there's definitely ways to, make sure that you can't offset everything like President Trump did, or really manipulate the system. There should be more checks and balances. Of course, obviously he wasn't flagged for anything. The IRS didn't say anything. So obviously his tax people, all his tax attorneys and all his CPAs did their job, what they're paid to do, and help him not pay taxes. But there's also that shows that there's a loophole in the system that needs to be corrected as well. So I think there's just a lot. I think there's a lot of controversy on that question, bro. I can go both ways on it. I'm split on that prop. For a lot of reasons. Some people may see it just as black and white, but there's a lot of gray there as well. So. But yeah, I do think that the IRS needs to address some of those issues. I do think that we also need to not punish, small investors who own property, but encourage more families to invest in California. But, I don't make the rules. That's why I'm voting. So everyone go out there, make your voice heard, vote, do what you can. So
absolutely.
Danielle, you have a question here. So also from Ed. So Ed, you're active on the chat, bro. I appreciate that. So Daniela, as a small business owner, what kind of realistic ROI should I expect from social media as a professional?
Okay.
That's a good question.
That is a good question. And I will be as honest as I can. It really depends on what your service is and what product you sell.
Right.
If you're a real estate agent, I would be lying to you if I told you that you're going to flip 10 followers and they're going to buy a house from you. But what I can tell you, yeah, it is tough.
It's tough to convert one.
Yeah.
It's tough. You got to really be, following up, just because they see you and they like your page doesn't mean they're going to buy a house from you.
Right.
So.
And it's not anything personal. It's just that many times we don't have like an extra 60K sitting in our back pocket for us to put on a down payment, right?
Right.
But you will start to develop a sense of community with your followers. And then when that person feels ready to buy a house, you will be the first person on their mind. Or maybe that person knows of a cousin or an uncle or a friend who's ready to buy a home, and you'll be the first person on their mind based on the content that you create. If you sell something like, if you're a photographer, for example, it's a lot easier to convert followers into clients because you're constantly pumping out the content that is your work, right? If you're taking photography of like families and weddings, then engagements, whatever, you put that content on your page. It's easier to see a return of investment because it's going to be easier for me to pay $1,500 for some amazing pictures than it may be for me to put $25,000 on a house. If you're selling a product, it's a little easier as well because hiring a social media manager, we reach out to micro influencers in the area or influencers who are in that target audience, and we create like PR packages. We send them off. That person creates user-generated content. Then more traffic comes into your page, so it's easier for you to make a sale. So again, it depends on the business that you're in. And it also depends on what you think a return of investment. And some people think it's like you want to skyrocket your sales. Okay, cool. Other clients I've had who are real estate agents, they have like a steady clientele, but they didn't have a social presence. And for them, that's the return of investment, for people to be like, oh, I saw the post that you made last week about, supporting firefighters in Sonoma. I really loved that. Thank you so much for posting that. Or I saw that you posted my son's small shop, down the street. Thank you so much for doing that. So again, it depends. You have to be very specific on what your objective is when hiring a social media manager, and knowing that depending on your service or good, that's going to come into play.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, guys. I always was like, oh, I'm going to convert all these people. All these people are going to buy houses from me. It's not true. That's not the way it's going to happen. And I heard something that I really love, and you were part of these masterminds earlier this year when COVID really, hit us, and it was cool. Like we all started collaborating.
Yeah.
We all jumped on Zoom and we're like talking and spinning ideas. And I don't know if it was you or somebody else who said this, and they were like, well, I'd rather have 1,000 legit followers who love me and who follow me and like my shit versus 20,000 people who don't like my stuff,
right,
and aren't really paying attention and don't really care and not looking to buy a house. They want to look at my funny videos. They want to look at other things that, make me popular on Instagram. So 100%, I mean, it's just like your ROI is going to be what you want it to be essentially. And for me, it's like, I just want to develop an audience who likes my content and who's one day perhaps might reach out to me, because I want to just be able to provide value to them and just be honest with them what's going on in the market, not sugarcoat anything, because there's nothing to sugarcoat. I mean, I don't benefit from just lying to the public. I want to be just straightforward and honest and give you value. So even if like I always say this, whether you're working with me or not, I just want to make sure that I give you some advice, or give you some nuggets to take away, and if you're like, oh shit, well, Rick's giving out this information for free and my realtor's really not doing anything. So it's kind of like, holler at your boy. I'll take care of you. And if I can't take care of you if I'm not your market, I know somebody who will. I align myself with individuals who are just like myself, all throughout the country. So just, make sure to hit me up, hit Danielle up if you need social media advice. Like, she can work from anywhere. She's a little different than I am. I have to actually be living in the area to sell you that home, but I would just say, it just really depends what you're looking to do as far as your presence is on social media, whether you're looking to just sell all your product or you're looking to just create a community, like you're saying, of people who like you, follow you, and are going to support you. Eventually those will turn into customers. Eventually those will be able to be converted into sales. So just be patient. I learn as I go. So I just became very patient and started really focusing just on the content and being myself. And I think it's really helped me get a lot more following, get a lot more messaging. People are a lot more open to messaging me now because they're like, I see this guy all the time. He's walking his husky, doing all these things with his clients, hanging out, drinking tequila with other individuals. Like, he's a cool person I can just talk to. And I have a lot more people willing to just hit me up. And like, I don't charge anything. You guys can hit me up anytime and be like, yo, Rick, what do you think of this? And I'm happy to give you my unbiased opinion. But, at that point, like, you have to take it with a grain of salt. I'm not representing you. You have to go and really go back to the drawing board and see if, if your realtor is the right fit for you, or if, you need to find somebody else or whatever it may be. Because if you're reaching out to me to ask me simple questions and your realtor's not answering those for you, then they're not doing their job, you guys. So just make sure that, at the end of the day, what I really meant to say was that, you're putting out content out there for people to be willing to reach out to you and being able to kind of be a little vulnerable and be like, okay, let me reach out to Ricky or let me reach out to Danielle and ask their advice. Because, if you're not approachable, people are just kind of just on your page just to be on your page. So.
And that's a really good point that you said about being vulnerable, because sometimes people don't know how to ask, right, for help, especially 100%. For something that comes like buying a house. Like, how much money should I have saved? Mm-hmm. What should my credit score be?
Number one question.
Right? Mm-hmm. And there are some real estate agents that are like, oh, just send me a DM, just send me a DM. But it's like, why? When you can create that content and I can look at it and be like, okay, you know what? He's giving this information for free. That already makes me kind of trust him, because a lot of agents don't want to do that. It's like, I don't understand. It's not taboo. But some agents don't want to give out that free information. But by putting yourself out there, creating that content where people can start to like trust you and like you, right? Trust is like a direct correlation to conversion, right? Mm-hmm. Converting somebody into a client or a customer, many times is with trust. So creating content and really having someone in your back pocket, like a social media strategist, to help you kind of come up with these ideas and put them into pictures and words, right. You will see a return on investment, because people are going to trust you. And that's something that I think some realtors, not even realtors, just business owners in general, they just don't know how to do it. Not that they don't want to put out content out there that will directly connect with their audience, but sometimes it's hard, and it's okay to have someone in your back corner help you out with that.
Yeah, and I think, when they, make themselves vulnerable, or like they're giving out this free content and they're like, well, people are just going to take that shit and run, they're not going to want to work with me, I think, and that's the one thing I thought in my mind too, why am I going to give out all this free information if they're not even going to work with me? But it's like, at the same time, it's like, I can't help everybody. Yeah. I can't be in every city at once.
And you know what's crazy about free information? Because I've had this question come up, and it's like, how do I know, like, if I'm sharing too much, or like what to say? And it's like, at the end of the day, a lot of this information is online. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of it can be like a Google search, right? But the reason why people come to you, again, comes down to like that bread aisle, right? It's your brand. It's the way that you make people feel. Mm-hmm. And that's what's going to help you stand out, is how giving you are with your information, with selling, with giving value before you even ask for a sale.
Yeah, 100%. And I think Gary Vee says this all the time. It's like give, and then ask. 100%. Like, and for me in the get-go, that's kind of what was my goal as well, was like, I'm just going to come on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and just be like, boom, this is everything all day, like info. And I'm not even going to ask for the sale. Like, I don't care if you work with me or not. And that's the truth. I really, it'll be an honor and pleasure to work with you. I love working with people. You know, like I'd love to work with every single one of you guys, but I can't sometimes. I'm not in your market. I can't. And that's just physically, I can't.
And that's okay.
And yeah, and I don't, you know, I used to be like, oh, I want to go help my buddy in Sacramento. I want to go to Los Angeles. I want to go here, but it's like, I can't. And I'd be a disservice to you because I don't know the area. I'm not, you know, I don't network with those type of agents. I don't know a lot of people out there. So it's gonna be a little tougher for me to get into that niche market without knowing people. But at the same time, it's like, I was like, well, what can I do to stand out? And for me, and get-go on social media, I was like, well, I'm just going to go out there and just pump information out.
Right.
I'm going to pump information out. Every day I'm going to make it about something about real estate, something I like, you know. And so it's like, for me, it's like Mondays, I'm always talking about makeovers, like on houses, like makeover Mondays. And Tuesdays, I'm always doing transformations. Houses were something and now they're something else. And Wednesdays are always like wacky Wednesdays, like weird houses around the area or throughout the country or nation or whatever.
I like the motivational content you put.
Oh, thank you.
It
used to be super cookie cutter. I would just steal stuff on Pinterest. And then like what I started to do was like utilize Canva a lot. And if you guys don't have Canva's free unless you guys want to pay an extra like 13, 14 bucks. But Canva's legit. Like literally it's Photoshop on steroids, and it makes it super easy to create content. You can be very personable, drop in, you know, logos, whatever. And the best thing about Canva is like you can remove backgrounds on photos.
Oh yeah.
And it's like cool. And it's like an instant thing. Like you just upload, remove background, slap it on anywhere, and
they have hundreds of templates.
I think that's the best part. It's like like even when the free version have all these templates, you guys literally type in something and it has something for you. So if you guys don't have Canva, get Canva. It's a great app. You can do it on your phone too. And I crank all my stuff out really quickly on Canva. I'll get a nice quote. And for Hispanic Heritage Month and stuff like that, I've been really focusing on doing a lot more quotes from Hispanic individuals, Latino individuals. So for me, I was like, what I would do is get like cool quotes from like Carlos Santana or somebody else or whatever. And what I do is I get a nice quote and I slap it around a nice image. And what's cool about Canva is like I literally type in what I want. It'll pull it up and it's all high def photos. I drop my photo in, drop my text, and I already have my templates already. So I'm able to crank it out really quickly, and I just go out there and I slap it up and post it. So for me, it's like I always want to be able to provide you guys with something every single day, whether it's not something for you or it gives you some inspirational ideas on what you shoot at your house or your parents' house or your uncles or grandma's or whatever. But just always want to give you guys something every single day that's for me, that's for free. I'm not charging you guys anything. And now what I'm really focusing on is doing my raw and uncut real estate videos. I do those every 2 weeks. And I'm talking about like what's going on in the market, no filter, no bullshit. Like I'm not going to just sit up here and tell you guys what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you guys what is going on in the market. What's the ugly truth right now? So, you know, I always want to be honest with my clients and with my audience, because at the end of the day, like if I'm not honest with you, I'm not being real. This is not the way you should be on social media, because when you go to meet me or you go to work with me or you refer me somebody, and they're like, dude, that guy's not at all who he is on Instagram or whatever. That's not how you should be doing this social media game. You should be 100% honest, you know, be personable, be authentic, and more than anything, be vulnerable. Be okay to be yourself, be okay to share stuff and not get anything in return, because like Daniela was saying, if you're not giving stuff out and you're not, you know, developing that audience and that community, then who knows, you know, if you're even doing it, you know, if you're even going to get any ROI at all, because, you know, you have to be able to provide something for free, or at least give something before you ask for the business. And that's, I mean, one thing I really love about what Gary Vee says is like, he's like, you know, if you're out there just asking, you know, and you're not giving, then you're not going to be closing. You know, no one's going to come to you and be like, all right, I'm going to give you my business because you asked for it. It's like, what are you giving me? What am I getting in return?
Right.
So.
Right. Absolutely.
Oh, Ed, you're joining us with a little drink, huh? Ed's drinking los ricos añejo tequila. Not bad, brother. Not bad. At least someone's joining us for happy hour. We're not drinking by ourselves. So cheers, bro. Cheers.
I'm going to cheers you too.
Oh my God, I didn't wait for you.
You didn't wait for me. Cheers.
All right, so we have a few more minutes. I don't see any more photos. I don't see any more questions. The tequila's already starting to talk, guys. I was talking about photography. No, it's mainly because I was just talking about Canva, and I'm an avid user on Canva. And if you guys, like I said, don't have it, get it. Even if you're not using it for social media, You can print on Canva. You can, they even do printing themselves. So you can send it to be made into postcards, invitations, everything. I mean, my dad's birthday invitations on that get last year.
I love it.
You can create whatever you want, send it out, and it's really high quality stuff. They do a really good job.
There's another, actually, a quick resource I want to share.
Oh, yeah.
There's this
website. I don't
website.
even have this. I gotta write this down.
It's called Unsplash, and they are 100% royalty-free stock images.
Oh,
so you just go to, or you can download the app too, but you type in unsplash.com, and there are hundreds of gorgeous stock images. And there is a way that you can filter out pictures, like say you have like a certain aesthetic you want to go with, or you want your stock images to be on brand to whatever your logo colors are. You can search for pictures that way, like say there's someone in the business who has like a gorgeous feed and her main color is blue, and all her stock images are blue. And that's a great resource for you to use, because these are the pictures that you can use on your website, you can use for your posts, you can use on any platform, because they're royalty free, so you don't have to worry about anyone coming back.
That's legit. I didn't even know that.
You. Yeah, when I first started doing this, I would take a lot of pictures from Pinterest, just because those pictures are gorgeous.
Yep, me too.
And then I had someone come after me, and they're like, you didn't ask for permission to use this picture.
Oh shit. That's my fear too. That's my fear when, like, you know, someone coming after me like, yo, you didn't tag us, or you didn't ask to use this, and you used it. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. So I learned the hard way, and now I don't take pictures from Pinterest. I take them only from places that I know I'm able to use them, or if I find a picture on Pinterest that I absolutely love, just give credit to, you know, whoever did it, and then you're fine.
Yep. So social media tips, guys. If you guys were not paying attention, you guys missed it. You guys can rewatch this on my Facebook. I'm gonna download this video. I'm gonna send it to Daniela if she wants to upload this thing. I'm gonna upload it on my Instagram as well. Any last words of encouragement? Anything else you want to bless these people with?
Yeah, just don't overthink it. When it comes to marketing on social media, you do need a strategy. But more than anything, you just need to block off a couple hours of your day and just come up with content. A great idea is to use pillars like personal, educational, promotional. And yeah, that's a way for you to pump out content. Anything personal could be like, what do you want to share about, you know, your life? Like, you enjoy tequila. Educational could be like, what is the market update? Promotional could be a picture of your headshot, your professional headshot with your brokerage. You're able to do that as well. And then if you create these categories or these pillars of content, it's going to be easier for you to just develop ideas. But definitely don't overthink it. I mean, done is better than perfect. And the more that you wait, the more time you give somebody else to come in and swoop on your audience. So just go out there and do it. You can find me on Instagram at Daniela Lopez XO. And I share a bunch of tips on there all the time. I have a bunch of highlights. You can even go back to the highlights and check out the history of marketing, because I love marketing.
Oh, nice.
Cool. But yeah, just go for it. Don't let it overwhelm you. Just know that there are resources out there for you, and just be yourself, have fun, and remember that not everyone is for you, and that's okay, because the people who are meant to partake in your business will, no matter what.
100%. I agree with that, 100%. And if you're having trouble, just hire Daniela, make it easy. Just hire her, make it easy. Don't stress about it. There's people that are out there to help you.
Don't waste any more time.
So, yeah, if you got some writer's block and you're like, man, I don't know what the hell I'm posting, just hit her up. She has some amazing content she can hook you guys up with, and it's going to be all personal to you and make sure you guys stand out. And that's awesome. I didn't even know that those are the 3 pillars you use. That's crazy. That should be the focus.
Yeah.
And I kind of focused around those 3 things without really focusing on those 3 things. So I'm doing something right.
You're doing amazing.
I was telling Daniela earlier, that's like all a hobby. Like literally, like I just did it to stand out, because I was like, I didn't have any business. I first started on this business. I was super slow. I was just trying to get my name out there. I was working at a jewelry store, finishing up in college, and I just got licensed. So I'm trying to do all these things at once. And I was like, well, how am I going to stand out? How am I going to get an audience? And how are people going to know who I am? I was like, well, social media is free. I just created my own social media accounts that were not personal, that were just around real estate. And my social media real estate accounts, like, you know, and I just developed those into being Ricky the Realtor on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, everything, everything on social media. I just jumped on everything and started really sharing different themes per day that focused around kind of those pillars that Daniela touched on. So it doesn't cost you anything unless you're boosting. So you get a lot of free organic content. Utilize the tools we told you. What was the website again?
Unsplash.
Unsplash for
royalty-free stock images.
Yes, and Canva. Use Canva religiously. Make some really cool stuff. And like I said, if you don't know what the hell you're doing, just hit up Danielle and she'll hook you up. So it was a pleasure having you guys.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me. One last cheers. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you guys. It's always a bunch of fun. I would look forward to doing these every single month. The hardest part is finding the right fit for the audience and finding the right guest. But I think we have had some good ones on here, and 5 episodes in, it's been a lot of fun. So I don't see any last questions. We're gonna end this Thursday off with a bang, and look forward to the weekend. Make sure you guys are having fun, enjoying the beautiful weather. It's gonna be a little warmer than usual, but take care, be safe, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, take care, guys. Bye bye.